This overview is the last in a series of 4 videos on Oracle PaaS for SaaS offerings. The Oracle Cloud Platform enables you to digitize your enterprise by focusing on analyze, extend, connect, and secure. For secure, Oracle Identity Cloud Service and Oracle Cloud Access Security Broker work in tandem to provide advanced security services to protect internal and external users from malicious activities. Let's take a look and see how it works in Oracle Cloud.
In this demo, we will showcase the power of Oracle's Identity Cloud Service and its ability to unify hybrid applications to provide a single source of truth for user identities across an enterprise. Specifically, we will dive into the lifecycle of a new employee's user account. We'll see how the account is initially created and how the user's profile and access is seamlessly translated across multiple applications. One of these users is joining the organization as a finance manager. In order to avoid the need to create separate user identities in different systems, the security architect navigates to the company's Identity Cloud Service Console, where he has access to the entire organization's user identities. Here, he is able to manage roles, user access roles, and any integrations with third-party identity stores like Microsoft Active Directory or Okta. First, the finance controller is created as a user in the Identity Console. Next, he is added to the appropriate group with access to the appropriate applications, in this case, the ERP Cloud application. This highlights the key differentiator of IDCS's unique capability of acting as a single source of truth. Since the user was created in IDCS, his information will be centrally managed from the console. This ultimately helps enterprises streamline their user onboarding process by removing the need for manual creations across applications. As you can see here, his account has been provisioned within ERP and he can log into the ERP application using SSO because he's been assigned to this group. Now, to verify that the finance controller's profile was successfully translated to the ERP application, the security architect logs back into ERP Cloud, and we can see that upon searching for the new employee, his identity has also been created in the ERP application. Next, we will switch the perspective from the security architect to the finance controller. While it's important that the administrator can verify that the user's profile has been successfully translated across applications, it's also important for the end user to test it out themselves. In order to ensure that the finance manager will be able to log into his account, he has been asked to navigate to a new browser and access the ERP application. To authenticate, the finance controller will need to leverage the company's single sign-on. So he clicks on the single sign-on button and is greeted with the authentication page requiring a username and a password. He then enters his credentials. Upon successfully entering his username and password, the finance controller is greeted with a multi-factor authentication registration page. It is worth noting that this is a unique feature to IDCS Foundation and allows enterprises to extend their user security beyond the out-of-the-box IDCS already pre-built into ERP Cloud. This feature itself is also very important in ensuring that an enterprises meet standard regulatory compliances with regards to data privacy and security. The finance controller clicks Enable, selects a question, and provides an answer. And clicks Save. And then Done. After submitting his MFA credentials, the finance controller successfully simulates the authentication process. This will ultimately grant him access to all applications he will be assigned to, both Oracle and third-party. There are 2 immediate benefits of IDCS. One is a streamlined user onboarding process, creating more productive users earlier, and another is reducing user duplications, leading to a simplified user and access management solution. Now that we've seen the power of IDCS and the role it plays in streamlining user processes, let's take a look at Oracle's CASB and how it differentiates from the competition. Before we begin, let's define what CASB is. It is an abbreviation for Cloud Access Security Broker and acts as a gatekeeper of applications. It allows enterprises to detect fraudulent activities occurring within applications hosted in clouds. In our case, CASB helps the enterprise detect and mitigate fraudulent actions occurring in their SaaS ERP. In this demo, we will showcase Oracle CASB's ability to provide in-depth risk and behavior analysis for Oracle ERP Cloud. Its ability to detect risky and fraudulent behavior for both users and application configurations makes it stand out in the crowd of CASBs in the market. Let's dive into the demo. After onboarding the finance manager into the ERP system, the security architect needs insight into whether or not the finance manager has been given the right roles and system access. He decides to test whether their CASB can detect an abnormal role assignment. The security architect logs in to the organization's CASB to be greeted with a summary of all the recent incidents and risk events associated with the organization's applications currently being monitored. Here, the security architect has the visibility into the number of non-compliant security controls, open incident tickets, policy alerts, threats, what applications are currently being monitored and their status, and he's also able to pinpoint discrepancies based on the access map. By scrolling down, the security architect is able to get a quick glance at risky users and the factors attributing to the risk level. After meeting with the HR folks, the security architect learned that the organization has reached the maximum hire limit for business development managers. With this in mind, the security architect decides to create an alert policy in CASB to flag any new user assignments of this role. The security architect has already created this policy, and we can see here that it's for an abnormal role assignment, that it will manage abnormal role assignments for user administrators and alert if a role has been assigned to this user. What specific role we're talking about? This is business development manager because they have currently reached their limit of this specific value, which equates to a role. If a user is assigned the business development manager role, CASB will detect the action and generate a risk event. This is an important step in setting up CASB to detect fraudulent activities. These policies are often driven by the business, but the security architect is responsible for implementing them and managing them. The security architect decides to verify the policy he just created is valid and will detect this anomaly. Since the finance controller has not gone through orientation yet, and thus has limited access to all systems, the security architect accesses the finance controller's profile and will assign him the role of business development manager. The security architect assigns the finance manager the role and navigates back to the CASB dashboard. This will allow us to see the simulation of the policy alert being triggered to detect this fraudulent action because the finance controller should not have this role. In order to verify that the risk event has been generated, the security architect navigates to the application page. The security architect sees that a policy alert has been detected and reflects the same policy he created earlier. This highlights CASB's key differentiator, being able to monitor and analyze both risky and fraudulent user behavior. The security architect decides to click on the alert for more information and sees that the role of business development manager was assigned to the finance controller, enacting the alert. CASB successfully detected this anomalous behavior and deemed it a risky event. CASB allows enterprises to quickly identify any risky or fraudulent behaviors that may pose a threat. Oracle CASB is the only CASB in the market that can provide enterprises this level of visibility into their Oracle SaaS applications. It can also provide the same level of insight for any third-party applications that are supported. Oracle IDCS and CASB work in tandem to provide a unified, comprehensive security solution. By combining IDCS's user management system with CASB's fraudulent behavior capabilities, This enables enterprises to gain the insight and visibility they need to reduce and mitigate fraudulent behavior. Ultimately, this single pane of glass solution will help drive the business and eliminate the constant worry of, are we doing enough for our users? And are we doing enough for our organization?
Oracle PaaS for SaaS offerings allow easy adaptation to the continuously changing business landscapes. You can subscribe to any of these offerings at your pace, use what you need, and when you need it. To learn more, please watch additional videos in this PaaS for SaaS series.